weren't for clusters aiding me with the access to food when I needed it, educational purposes, self-care, just things that you need in your normal life. If it weren't for clusters giving me those things, helping me, providing me with those things, right now in my life I would not be here. I would not be wearing this clothing. I probably wouldn't have my son. I probably wouldn't have the mental health I have. I wouldn't be happy. For a fact, I know that I wouldn't be happy. I'd be sad, and sadness in a community is what causes a downfall in a community.
Our overall programs really talk about food security, housing stability, and support and education. They're all aimed at trying to improve the stability of the people that we serve. And stability for one person looks completely different for another. Many of the people that we're serving don't come here every month because they're generally doing fine, but we are a catch for them when an emergency arises that they just can't manage. It makes a difference for them to be able to manage and stay where they are and continue to do what it is that they're doing.
It's a support system for me when I'm low on food. They also have helped me when I need book bags for my children for school. They've helped me register for Cradle for crayons, for clothing. It's a great support system when in my time of need, whenever I need a little bit of help.
I am literally working day to day, paycheck to paycheck, to make sure my family has everything that they need.
We were so honored to have Senator Bob Casey join us in Pottstown at PCRC to hear from real people, the struggles they face here in Montgomery County around the cost of food and how that can lead to food insecurity. We have a real challenge here in the county in that most people are working and they're actually making a little bit too much money to qualify for programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. But because of the cost of housing, in many places you must own a car because we don't have public transportation to every corner of the county, we find that many of our constituents run out of money by the end of the month in terms of food.
My relationship with the Pottstown cluster started, I would say, about 7 years ago. I was approached by a prospective tenant who was through their program, the Your Way Home program. And she was looking for a place, an apartment. She was homeless. She had just had a young child, and she had another young child that was about 4 years old. So I met with them and met with her caseworker, and it seemed like a good match. So we were able to house her in one of our apartments and get her off the street.
I actually participated in the point in time count this past February, where we go out and count homeless on the streets. While Montgomery County has had a 47% reduction, to actually see people on the streets sleeping at 11, 12 o'clock at night means that we need to continue to do better. We've been working with Your Way Home with an EPIC program to try to keep people from being evicted, to keep them from becoming homeless in the first place. There's a lot of programs going, but I think ultimately, 47% reduction, we'd like to see that as zero. We don't want people living on the streets in our county.
Our educational programs, I think, are really an example of some of the things that we've been able to do to help improve people's stability. And so I'll use an example of a couple of folks in our UP3 program where we're helping people to really identify their situation and to identify plans for their own stability and taking a look at poverty and what that looks like. Our attempt in that program is to really connect people to resources, help them to feel like they're better connected, improve their hope in their own ability to manage their stability.
One thing that really sticks out to me is the resilience and strength that I see from participants, especially in our UP3 program. Just the idea that a lot of people aren't even being paid a living wage and they're still managing to raise their families, they're still managing to pay their rent and provide for those that they love, and that hope and willingness and strength and resilience is huge, and it's what I've seen over the time that I've been at PCRC.
We believe there's a growing need in the community for a service like this. And it's a service where people come in and they're welcome. There's no judgment for people. We just want to open our arms and help them come in. We want to laugh with them and they laugh with us, and we bring them in and they order their food and they get to talk to one another. If they want to pray, they come in and pray with me. If they want to talk about the Bible, whatever it might be, we can do that. It's just a great opportunity to interact with folks.
If there wasn't a place like the cluster, I mean, it would be pretty sad. You know, these people, a lot of them, you know, they really are in dire need of help. Everyone is in a different situation. And that's really why we're on this earth, to help others.
I like the idea that we are really helping the residents of Pottstown and the surrounding areas, not just with, you know, food supplies, but also helping them with housing and education and other resources.
PCRC does such wonderful work in Pottstown, and one of the blessings of being a commissioner is that I've been able to interact with a lot of groups across the county that are doing the work. As long as I'm a commissioner, I want to partner with PCRC and these organizations to help our citizens.